Welcome everyone to the Secret Art of Business. And today I'm super, super, super excited. I know I say that every time, but I am super excited today to have Cindy Monroe on the podcast. We go way back, so you're just gonna get to kind of listen into our conversation. But we are gonna stick with the format because your time is important and Cindy's time is important, and we're gonna just kind of get through this and have a fun time doing it. I think so. Cindy, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for the invite. I'm so excited to spend this time with you and your listeners.
Um, you have built an amazing business, 31 Gifts, and what makes it so great and what I think is going to be so awesome for the listeners to hear is that, like many of us, you started, in that garage, in that kitchen, at that kitchen table, in that bedroom. So if you could, let's kind of start there and talk about, you know, what you did, why you did it, and where you are.
Yeah, thanks, Catherine. So it was 20 years ago, and I started, we call it our basement, but you're right. It was around the kitchen table in the bedroom. We went to some little trade shows and like fall events to be able to show our products and our new catalog and things like that. So we are a company that sells fashion accessories and totes, and we love to personalize them. So it started out with like putting our kids' names on them. My daughter's Alex, it's spelled Alyx. And she, of course, couldn't have anything with that spelling on there. And so we started out doing tons of embroidery and just having those bags that you can take to the soccer fields or take to hockey or just take with you to work. So we have tons of teachers that are, taking homework back and forth to grade at nighttime and, lunches back and forth and things like that. So we have tons of thermal products. And so we just really wanted to be able to provide those solutions for women on the go. And I'm not sure that I know one woman that is not on the go. So we started out with those products, and we I started also doing home parties, and then I started sharing that opportunity with other women to be able to also start their own 31 business. And so it really, started with one person saying yes to hosting a party. And that was 20 years ago. And then a second person saying yes to hosting a party for me. And then she ended up joining our company and she started having her own like micro business. And it's been amazing. We have blessed thousands and thousands of women to be able to have their own business and make some extra income through this 31 opportunity. And then all of our customers get to shop with these amazing women and be able to support kind of their local community and to be able to have the great products that they know that they love and they're proud to carry, and that they can personalize with their own family names and kids' names and things like that.
There's so many things that I like about your company, but first of all, I have my own uh, full set, I swear, of your products in my house right now, just that I've collected through the years. But one of
Yay!
the things I'm going to touch upon is, I don't know if it's the most important, but just always resonates with me is that you can personalize, because everybody has gone on vacation and there's like that thing with the little license plates, and you always look for your
Hmm.
name as
Yes.
as a little takeaway, and it's never there. It's never there. But so that problem is solved with your business right there. But what I love most about your business is that you have created opportunities for other women to be entrepreneurs
Hmm.
as well. And especially in situations where if they're making a choice of wanting to spend some time with their kids, they can still feel like that they are, well, actually, I shouldn't say feel like, they can still have a business and raise children and literally kind of have it all. And and they just can make such a difference for other people too. This is their business, and you've done this for so many
Yes.
women. It's so fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that the entrepreneurial journey gives you that flexibility in life, whether it is with your kids or taking vacations or going and doing your own professional development and things like that. And I know that it can be super expensive to start your whole business
Yes.
from scratch. And so this is a way for women to be able to start without a huge investment up front, and it does let them build those entrepreneurial skills. And and they learn leadership skills, they learn sales skills, they learn so many professional skills that just work ethic, and just their kids seeing their moms with working hard towards something, I think is one of the best things about being an entrepreneur and having your own business and letting your kids watch that come to life in their own home.
It really does open a lot of possibilities for them, and they end up having a lot of pride in their mom too, whether they want to admit it or not. Because it does come out with my daughter every once in a while. You're like, my mom owns a business. She's the president of her own company, and they see, they know, and that is one aspect I hadn't thought about, but I love that as well. I have to ask you next, because I know you could not have done this without having been a creative person. But what did you do as a kid that was fun or exciting or creative that you would like to share today?
Yeah, Catherine, I love this question. And I do think that it shapes us as adults. So, my parents divorced when I was 6. And so I kind of just learned to go outside and be creative outside. We
Mm-hmm.
lived near the woods. Our backyard was in the woods, and I would go exploring in the woods pretty much every day. I loved, whether it was raking the leaves or whether it was just playing imagination, like in the woods. And like, I absolutely loved playing in the woods and just being outside. And so I would say that that is one of my most creative. The other is I played with Barbies. I played with Barbies and dolls all the time. And I think that whenever you have those imaginary people and families, and my Barbie had a very nice car and she had a very nice home, and she loved to, be with her family, but she also loved to work because my mom worked, and that was an example for me. And so my Barbie definitely was a working mom, and she was very successful, and I just love to play. And I will tell you, I felt like that whenever I was like in 4th or 5th grade. I was getting too old to play with Barbie, so I would put them away, and then sure enough, weeks later I would go pull them back out because I just loved that interactive, playtime with my imagination and the Barbies and things like that. So I would say that those are my two areas. Yes, I played softball, but there again, that was outdoors. But yeah, I would say that my two favorite things were just playing in the woods and playing with my Barbies.
I also love both of those things, by the way. And I love that
Really?
Barbie is getting a little bit of a resurgence because she definitely did not get as much credit as she should have in many regards. I mean, a lot of people wanted to talk about,
Yeah.
well, she's not, anatomically correct or whatever, or,
Right.
the myriad of things that people did not like about Barbie. But ultimately, I thought Barbie really showed young girls that they could have career choices. And it wasn't just a matter of 4 different careers,
Yes.
it was really anything. And that whole
Yes.
opening the world up of possibility was such a magical thing that I always love it when I hear people did that as well. Because I mean, my Barbie um, did not raise kids, and she was not a nurse. She was a career woman, and she had, I think she had the beach bus, and she also had, I think we got a dream house from a rummage sale or something. I know there's no way my parents would have bought this, but yet I know I had one. Um, and it was all that. It's like there's just possibilities. Those are things that I would have never thought about as a kid, of actually having my own house, my own car, and yeah, it was very much of a game changer. So I love that you brought her into the conversation.
Yes. No,
And
I
I
think,
know.
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was just I was gonna say my dream house had the elevator and it was Barbie's house. It was not Ken's house. And I think
Exactly.
that even that made it okay for me to be able to, be the breadwinner of our family. And I didn't
Hmm.
struggle with that a lot. And a lot of women can struggle with that. I just recently
Yes.
had someone ask me that question. And I really do feel like that because it was Barbie's dream house and, Barbie's car, it was just something that was never a big deal for me whenever I started 31 and 31 became successful. And I love and honor and respect Scott in so many ways. And he honors and respects that, I started 31 and that I'm the breadwinner. And I don't know that, without that Barbie playtime, if I would have been as okay with that.
I think that's a very valuable statement. And both you and I believe, hit the jackpot when it comes to husbands for the most part, because they
Yes,
have
we did.
had zero issue with us just doing the best that we possibly can, and not being had a very we can't stop sort of personality. It's like, well, let's just grow this thing. And they're like, what can I do to help? I will get out of your
Yes.
way, and I will make dinner if that's what it takes, or I will do the laundry, and you just go out and shine. And not everybody's so lucky, but I will say
Yes.
that if
No.
you have one of those, and find out if you may, and you may not even know it. um it is so valuable when you're a woman trying to grow a business, is to have that person right behind you that is just, it's like, I got you. You just do it. I will be here and support you. It's a magical thing for sure.
Yes, it is.
And I know too that you had to be a little crafty as well when you were growing up too, because you literally made things to start your business.
Yes. So I actually did make some of my Barbie's clothes. So my grandmother had a sewing machine. My mom had a sewing machine. And I actually took a sewing class in high school. Even like my grandmother would help me with sewing some of Barbie's clothes when I was younger. But I actually went and officially took a class in high school. And I loved sewing. So I would sew with whether it was my Halloween costumes or different things. And then whenever I do love like scrapbooking and things. So once I started having kids, oh my goodness, my kids have all the scrapbooks for like, I don't know, maybe till they're 4. And then, the business started happening and the
Right.
scrapbooking stopped. But I definitely love being crafty. But I would say that, that kind of took a back seat whenever I started the business and started really using my creative mind around the business. And I do think that creativity is super important when you're starting a business because you have to adjust things. Like you have to be creative about what your customers want from you. You can't just go down the road and say, this is the only thing I'm going to do. And they either like it or they don't like it. That's not going to work in being successful in business. So you have to be creative. You have to pay attention. In my world, I have to pay attention to new trends. I have to pay attention to who's my audience that I'm actually serving and what are the bags, what are the things that she's doing on the go that she needs support with. And so, yes, I think just that, all of that creativity definitely has helped me in business to be creative to support the products that my customers are looking for. And then even recently to be creative whenever we had to go through this darn pandemic, and being creative around our employees and being creative around the solutions and things that we're going to, offer, with the kind of hybrid and flexibility and things like that. So I will say that creativity has definitely served me well in business.
What is the one item that ended up being a real surprise of a bestseller for you, or a hot seller? Was there one thing that you're like, I didn't think people needed this, and yet there it is?
Yeah. So our number one seller is our large utility tote. And honestly, Catherine, it is the most basic product that we have. It has no pockets, it has no zippers. It is literally a rectangle bag, but it holds so much. I mean, guys love it because they can carry like tons of groceries. I don't like to carry
One
15
trip,
bags of
one trip.
groceries
It's
at
got to be one
once, but
trip.
yeah, but guys love it for that reason.
Oh, that's
I
hilarious.
love it if I'm going to be going to the beach. I mean, it just works for everything. But it is the most basic bag or product that we actually have. And we've sold like over 16 million of them. It's insane.
I love it. I just want a giant bag. That's what it is. That is
That
so
is
great.
what it is.
Since you can sew and things like that, did you or do you still create your own prototypes?
So I have in the past, I do not today. I will tell you, we've been known to we definitely have someone that kind of helps us with all of our tech packs and things like that. And so Jamie and I would go back and forth on little sewing techniques and things like that. Most of the time, Jamie would take it home and sew it on her own sewing machine. But yeah, in the early days, I definitely kind of played around with it a little bit. And then my cousin actually helped me with monogramming for the first kind of product that we had. She actually made the purse with all the panels, and the monogramming was hidden inside. Today, you can see the back of the monogramming on our totes. But yeah, whenever you make the purse from scratch, you can actually tuck that monogram inside the lining of the bag. And so that was one of our first items that we monogrammed. And so my cousin actually helped me make that purse.
That's really awesome. And monogramming is still popular, I'm going to say. Yes.
It is. It continues to be popular. I think that it's not the same like three initials it was a while back. Some people definitely still do their three initials, but I think that a lot of times we do more last names or we'll do kids' names,
Mm.
even single initials like on your beach totes and things like that. Some people do numbers for their sports, numbers for their kids. So
Oh,
yes, I mean, we actually do quite a bit, and we have some icons too. So, you know, we have a soccer ball or we have a football. And so we have, those are fun things to be able to add on as well, just to add some personality to the
absolutely.
product.
Absolutely. And what a great way to organize all your kids' stuff. It's like, okay, this is your tote.
Right.
And all your stuff
Yes.
goes in here versus, which bag is
Yes.
it in today? I don't even know. It speaks a lot to that fast pace mom or dad on the go, just to keep kind of things organized. I love it. And I love it too, because I love things monogrammed. I don't know, that's maybe because I come from a large family and it was my
Mm,
stuff. This is my
right.
bag and my
No
stuff. So
hand me
maybe I
downs when it's got your
got
name on it.
exactly, exactly. It was brand new and it was all mine.
I love it.
All right. So I know also that you also do a lot of things for fun. So the great thing about being an entrepreneur is that you can control your time a little bit. And I know you and I both believe that you do need to step away sometimes in order to be your best at your business. So what do you do when you step away? What sort of fun thing or creative thing are you doing right now that you get to enjoy and when it kind of resets you to go back and work on the business?
Yeah. So I would say it is usually still outside, but we
Hmm.
have really fun, little expensive hobbies outside now. And that's been such a blessing. But we love to ski, and my
Hmm.
husband and kids snowboard. So I just love being outside and skiing. And then we do a lot of boating. And so we actually take our boat. We live in Florida, and we take our boat up the East Coast,
Oh,
and it is fascinating to just see all the cultures and the different communities. They all have different dialects, even like going up South Carolina and into North Carolina, like you'll hear like 10 different Southern
huh.
accents. And it is so amazing and fun. And just the food, oh my goodness, all the food just changes as you go up the East Coast. So I would say that that is one thing that we're empty nesters now, which is hard to believe.
Yeah.
But so Scott and I just love to be able to kind of boat and be able to be outside whenever we can.
I love that because while children are absolutely amazing, when you get to kind of come back and spend time with that person that you started it all with, what a great gift
Yes.
that is. And you're doing it with something that you love doing too, which is so cool too.
Yes.
And how did you get into boating?
Oh my goodness. So it was really whenever we started out in Tennessee and we had a little pontoon boat. And whenever we moved up to Columbus, Ohio with the business, we're like, we really want to be on the water. So we went up to Lake Erie, and Lake Erie has such a short season. It's such a sweet
Yes.
season, but it was really, really short. And so we were like, oh, well, maybe we'll try Florida. So whenever we kind of moved the boat from Lake Erie down to Florida, and then we would just kind of come on the weekends some. And then once we ended up, the kids, finished high school and everything, we made Florida our permanent residence, and we just kept boating. We just love it. I mean, we love the wind, we love the water. It's an adventure for sure. There's always something wrong with a boat, but it is still so much fun. And I'm so thankful and blessed to have Scott that is so mechanical, because he can like fix all those little things that go wrong with boating.
Yes.
It's kind of like, yeah, it's like an RV. There's just always something that goes wrong with it, but he's so good at being able to just fix it.
I love it. And I remember, and I'm sure you probably don't even remember this. There was one time a long time ago where you did invite me to come on the boat with you. And I was like, oh, I don't think I can do that because I don't like deep water at all. So you said that I'm probably on the blood drain on my face. But I love
Oh
that you
my
love it. 'Cause
goodness.
I think it's beautiful. And I really do wish I did not have that phobia. 'Cause I think it's so cool. And what's so funny is my daughter is in crew now. So now I'm forced to be on the docks and hear the
Yes.
and I hold my breath every time she's out there. But yeah, I mean, she loves it. So I totally get it. I think it is a really, really beautiful sport. And what a great way to see the country, too, at a nice leisurely pace. I'm slightly jealous of that you get to do.
Well, and I'll tell you, it's been really fun for even our marriage, because whenever we are boating, Scott is the captain and I'm the first mate. And so it's a little bit reversed whenever, we're leading 31 and, I'm CEO and he's playing that support.
Yes,
So it's
yes.
kind of like, it's been really good, and we know our roles and we understand. I mean, we both have roles that we have to lead in. And so it's a great way for us to kind of have worked together, and for him to be in that leadership kind of captain seat has been super fun. And for me to not feel like I've got to make all the decisions and things like that. So I will tell you that even if it's not boating, find activities to where you're not always the one in charge, that and learn that role of being that support, that first mate, that, second mate, whatever it is. And I really do think that is such a learning opportunity for all of us that are, those CEOs or those leaders in our business, to, be able to have those hobbies where you don't have to be the decision maker all the time.
Yes, yes. My equivalent of that is on a much smaller scale, and that when we go on road trips or whatever, my husband will drive, and I could not be happier that I
Yes.
don't have to think about anything. I was like, I'm going to sit here on the passenger side and just, sort things. I'll sort the snacks, and I'll open your drinks, and I will do all of that. But
Yeah.
if you could drive, that would be so awesome right now, because, like you said, you don't have to think, and that
Yeah.
goes back to like always re-engaging in something that is not thinking about your business, because with
Hmm.
taking that break you come in with such fresh eyes and such new ideas that
Yes.
having people to help you do that, or you just initiating yourself to just say I have to step away, even if it's for a walk. But, we talked about, you said just kind of in passing, which I don't even care that your hobbies are expensive, but even, I mean, anything that you do to do that, it's taking a walk, it's, spending some time in nature, it's
Yes.
going back to the woods, like you were talking about, just walking around the woods, and very, very simple things make such a huge difference, such a huge difference.
Yeah, for sure. And we do that on our daily basis. We love to go on our walks or hikes or whatever it may be,
Hmm.
anything outside. And we ride bikes together, And so, yes, definitely. There are all kinds of ways that you can, find time to be creative, to be outside. The other thing is, I have adult coloring books and I do like word finds. And so I have all these little word finds that I'll just sit, and a lot of them will be like very motivational or their scriptures and things like that. And I'll just sit there and spend time finding words that, create this beautiful little encouraging phrase, or to just sit there and color. And so I do think that even those things help me just to take my mind and rest it for a minute and just to be still and to give it myself permission to just, relax and to refuel and to be creative and to see the colors. And so, yes, there's tons of other little things I do for sure on just a daily basis.
Absolutely. Well, this was probably one of the fastest podcasts ever because I have just enjoyed not only seeing your face, but talking to you. So, Cindy, thank you so much for doing this. I think you are definitely a great example of a woman business owner that basically started from nothing and not only created a great business, but the fact that you're helping so many other people says so much about you, your personality, and just how much you care about others. So thank you for all that you've given to women and business and all of that, and men too. I'm sure there's men that are in there too. But you're just so wonderful to do this, and I appreciate your message. And thank you again for being here.
Thanks, Catherine, so much. Great to see you.
Great to see you too. Don't hang up yet.